guys,
What's
guess who's
up?
back? Your favorite, not SNH, like obviously me, Helia, your team Solomon shirts. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, oh, Solomon, there you go. Very proud to show his name. Oh shit, the lighting just got crazy. Okay, so here we are, episode 2. Did I get 2? There you go. Episode 2, we're gonna be talking more about like working out and exercises, how to build a program-ish, like what we base our programs on. Like, why do we make you do like certain exercise followed by that exercise? Whatever. Why are you laughing at me?
Basically, our perception or approach.
He's so rude because he didn't want to do the introduction because like I don't really know what we're gonna talk about, and now he's like interrupting me
Because I love this.
rudely
You put me
to
on.
give his opinion.
We don't prepare. Like you have your set
Well,
of
I
questions.
prepare, you don't.
She prepares, and then I try to answer it on the spot. I feel like it keeps the content more genuine. And so today I told her, Helia, I want you to ask me questions.
Hit me with your best shot.
Mhm.
Okay, go.
With your best questions to
I don't want to say best questions. It's basically a lot of
misconception
Yeah, misconceptions, and
about training.
yeah, a lot of myths. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, so we're approaching myth today?
Yeah.
Oh, we're breaking myth.
So you guys can kind of play the game with Solomon. Once I ask a question, you can say whether it's true or not. If you have the right answer of all of them, I would say after the question, stop watching.
Yeah,
because
and
we're so annoying.
start your own podcast at this point. You know everything.
And start being a personal trainer. Put it in your Instagram bio and start.
You
doing
have
that
to
shit.
add fit to your name. That's
Okay, it's
important.
already been 2 minutes. We need to shut up and start doing this.
Okay, let's go. So,
First question.
first question.
Is it okay to hit a muscle once a week if you want to grow it? Like, let's say a guy wants to really grow his chest. Is it okay if he only hits it once a week?
Okay, so basically you're talking about the bro split. Bro split, commonly known, is basically hitting one muscle group once a week. It was really popularized like 10 years ago on all these bodybuilding.com and website, and you would follow these superstar bodybuilders and they would have that workout training plan, and they would hit like chest on one day and then back on the other day and then shoulders. So
is it okay?
is it okay? Yes, it's definitely
Like,
okay.
do you still see results is my question.
These guys make progress, and you perhaps will begin your journey and hit chest once a week and make progress. Now, the trick is that over time, you're gonna be limited by the amount of volume that you hit. Now, in the most recent research that have come out, what has been really shown the most is that a frequency of 2 will yield better progress than once a week. I've read some research that were trying to demonstrate 3 times a week and 4 times a week compared to 1. Obviously, they're all better than 1 because you probably will just hit more volume. You know, at the end of the day, volume is the main driver of hypertrophy. So if you're training the muscle twice a week.
But like, this brings me to the other question. Like, is it okay to like train like 7 times a week then?
The same muscle?
Not necessarily.
Oh, you mean training in general 7 times a week?
Yeah.
That's a different topic. I'd like to talk about
Okay,
it
so
after.
let's finish the other one.
Yes,
So,
so
you were
bro
saying
split.
it's better to hit it 2-3 times than once. But is it okay to like say hit the same muscle like 5 times a week? Let's say doing 5 times glutes, is it gonna make my booty bigger?
That's very specific to certain muscle groups. There are some muscle who will recover more than others. You're talking about glutes. Glutes are generally a muscle that can tolerate a lot of frequency. Obviously, because glutes can perform a lot of different action, you can think about the hip thruster. That's a hip extension. You can think You can think about abduction. So lateral leg raises. That's a different action. So maybe if you have a smart approach in your programming, you're gonna have some very hip extension dominant days and some abduction dominant days, perhaps, and have like a light loop band day. So you will probably hit your glutes more than 2 or 3 times a week. But if you're always hitting heavy hard, then the alter ego of training heavy is recovery. That's a really important component of progress. So if you're always going hard, you can only go as hard as you can recover from. So if recovery has been impaired, I doubt your progress isn't gonna stall.
Okay, second question. I'm
Okay.
sure you have all heard this.
Wait, I like
Oh my
to
god,
fin-
you're not even done?
I'm not done. So
Sweet
to come back
Jesus.
to answer clearly, you train
Clearly, because it was not clear enough.
your
guys.
chest once a week, but then the following
This
week.
is the chess classic Robert Vasquez, by the way.
Yes.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
This is it.
You train chest once a week. Let's say you do 5 sets of bench press, and then the following week you're doing 6 sets of bench press. Now there's a progression there until you hit a certain diminished return. Like you wouldn't be able to do 20 sets of chest in one session. That's when splitting your workout in 2 becomes smart. So at the beginning, training once a week might be enough, but once you start hitting plateaus, that's when you need to be smart, and then maybe
Okay, are you
cut
done?
the workout in half. Yes, I'm done.
Thank you so much for finally letting us like breathe and asking you more questions.
Okay.
Second question that I'm sure we've all heard, and this is a very common thing for people, is that if I want to lose the weight, like let's say girls that want to lose the fat here, they're like, oh my god, but take a lighter weight, do more reps. But if you want to build your biceps, take a heavier weight and do less reps.
Yes.
How true is that?
As surprising as it may be, when I did my FIT course with YMCA, which was a couple of years ago, they still had in their course note something like endurance work is high rep, muscle building is like hypertrophy, so like in the 6 to 12 rep range, let's say, and strength training was like 1 to 5 reps. Like it's still a common knowledge. 2000, I want to say 13 or 15. There was some 13. Some research paper came out and it started a whole movement of research that followed after that, showing that people were making muscle hypertrophy, so they were making gains with a load that was around 30% of 1 RM. This is starting to become more common knowledge around gym goers or gym enthusiasts. So with light load, they were making as much gains as the people with a heavier load, but the trick is that they were all training to failure. So training to failure or close to it will be a driver of hypertrophy. So if you're doing light load, you're just gonna have to do more reps in order to recruit all the motor unit in order to make progress. So you need to stop seeing like blocks, and you need to, for once, see it on your continuum. And among that continuum, hypertrophy is always gonna be there. You're always gonna build muscle regardless of the rep range you're gonna be training. Now, of course, some rep range are gonna be more specific to your task. If you're someone who is trying to achieve a 1 RM or a PR with a heavy load on 1 rep, there is no point training with a 30 RM in order to improve your 1 RM. So for sure, if you're a powerlifter, your specific rep range is gonna be low, but the powerlifter who's training with heavy load is still making muscle gains because he's probably doing more sets at a heavy load, so volume is still going up. That's building muscle. Now to round up to your question, is doing high reps gonna burn fat? No guys, we've been pretty clear about that in our first video, and we'll keep repeating it until it becomes like common sense. When you are trying to lose fat or to look toned, you need to build muscle and dial down with your nutrition or your energy expenditure in order to put yourself in a
deficit.
There you go, keyword guys. You're in a deficit.
D, E, can you give me I?
This is gonna be long.
I don't know how to do an F. Oh my
T.
god, hold on. That's a weird.
You need 3 arms basically. Okay, so
I can do C though. Oh my god, I can't
Amazing.
do it.
So yes, guys, high rep to lose fat? Nah, not necessarily. Do high reps if you like doing high reps, or if you have joint pains, injuries, you can't tolerate a high load. That's when you're gonna regress the intensity, but increase the rep range in order to still progress in the gym. Progression is what you need to always achieve.
Okay, so one before last question.
Okay.
And is it true? Because you know, when we have a lot of people, when they start with us, they're like, okay, but I can't train 5 to 6 times a week. Am I still gonna see like results? You know,
Yes.
what do you do in that case? Because we have the case of the person who wants to hit 2 muscle per day and who'll train like a few times a week, which we just said it's okay and you'll still see results. But what happened with the person who, whether it's because of time or whatever, they're not so committed that much, they want to like ease into it,
Yeah.
they want to train, let's say 3 times a week.
Okay.
Are they still going to see results? Is it enough, or is it just like a complete waste of time and they should really commit to like going 5 or whatever amount of time per week?
There's many ways to answer that question. First of all, let's just
keep it simple and short.
let's just try to take logic, for example. If that person is doing nothing and then goes from 0 to 3 days a week, let's all agree over here that they are going to make progress. Is it better to do 5 than 3? I'm sure you would make more progress with 5 than 3, but if that's not optimal for your lifestyle, again, that becomes a rock in your shoe and it makes everything more complicated. So
because sometimes I feel like for the person like saying, oh my god, I need to go 5 times a week, that's what really makes them not go at all.
Yeah, it turns them off.
Yeah.
It's too much stress and they don't get that 5th session.
And you feel like you're failing. Like if you go 4 times instead of 5 times, like, oh my god, I'm failing.
Yeah.
Might as well just like give up.
You need to have milestones and you need to have rewards as you go along your journey. Now, if your journey is filled with deception and always feeling disappointed in yourself because you don't make all your sessions a week, it's hard to stay on track, especially at the beginning. Like not everyone has like this natural will of going. So that's on the logic side, guys. Obviously 3 times a week is better than none. 3 times a week is better than 2.
In that case, like we always recommend doing like 3 days full body.
Full body, I generally recommend full body when you're training 3 times a week because
like training your neck, your head. Yeah. I'm joking. Don't freaking train your neck.
Also, if I'm gonna use an example,
a little of my jokes.
We're serious right here.
You know,
she's the
that
joker.
train like 4 arms. That really kills me. I find it so hilarious. Oh my god, not so far gonna hate me.
Yeah, you're really annoying. What about these people who are like arm wrestling, whatever?
Yeah, but that's different.
Okay, so there's no prejudice here. Also, anecdotally, I would say that by experience with clients, I have clients who have made tremendous progress at a frequency of 3 times a week the whole journey.
Yeah,
Nothing more.
It's true.
And there's before and after pictures on my page. I've often mentioned it when I said that these 2 pictures apart with amazing progress were accomplished with only 3 times a week or only 4 times a week. Like not everyone needs to train 5 or 6. If it's a smart program, efficient, right to the point, like you mentioned, where obviously like our frequency is lower, the workout might be a little more dense. And there's not going to be a lot of attention spent on training forearms, obviously, because we need to put more stuff in that day. So we're going to prioritize what's important.
Last question. You have exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer it.
Let's do this.
I'm coming to you, John Doe. I'm asking you something. Give me 5 keywords to make my training at the gym smarter, more effective, more efficient. 5 things. What do I need to focus on?
Okay.
Keywords.
Okay, so practice your skill.
So practice.
Practice, okay.
2.
Keep it simple.
Simple.
3. Progress.
Progress.
You need to progress.
Can I say the 4th one?
Let's go.
Track.
You
love that one.
Yeah, otherwise progress.
Good for me. Look at me, Solomon.
What are the 4 so far? Oh, you needed 4 words?
Shit.
Or you wanted a 5th one?
Let's do a 5th
I have a 5th one, but what was the 4th one?
We don't remember, but they're gonna write it down.
No.
Simple. Progress. Track. I forgot the first one.
Practice. And I would say the last one is recover. Because that's so important, guys.
Damn, that was that was deep.
And this was all on the spot. I'm proud of us.
Yeah, we did good. Good job,
good.
And awesome. We kept it under 15 minutes.
Under 15 minutes?
Yes.
Woo!
So thank you guys so much
for
watching his annoying ass and his my very funny cute ass. And yeah.
So hit us up for some shirts and enjoy the content, guys. I hope.
We're gonna try to make it a tradition.
Yeah, if you're gonna listen to this on podcast, screenshot and post on your story and tag us. Let's try to put the word out there. I think we are.
And follow me on Instagram because a lot of you don't. You just follow Solomon, which is really rude.
Yeah, well, if you're this annoying, there's no way they're gonna follow you.
Okay, guys, please tell Solomon that I'm
Let's
not
end this
annoying.
debate right now.